If you're currently in UK skilled worker visa or planning to come in future on the skilled worker visa, this video is for you. In this video, I'll talk about income earning potential of skilled worker visa holders in terms of what sort of jobs they can do and the additional income they can earn apart from their current skilled worker visa job. So basically in this video, I'm literally telling you each and everything from whatever jobs they're able to do, the income potential, the earnings, the complication of visa, the home office, HMRC, each and everything in a single video from start to end based on the current guidelines as published by Home Office. Before deep diving in the video, a bit about myself. My name is KUMAR. I'm a chartered accountant. My channel has more than 500 videos categorized in different playlists based on the careers, interviews, guidance around the world, different podcasts, interview guidance. Everything is out there on different playlists sorted, so you can check them out and definitely you'll find a lot of guidance out there. So back to topic, additional work on US skilled worker visa. Once you are in UK on skilled worker visa, there are possibilities for you to do additional work. So there are three choices and we'll talk about all of them in detail in this video. Just to brief you, the first choice is voluntary work. Second choice is working less than 20 hours per week as allowed. And then third choice is of course working more than 20 hours. We'll talk about all of them in detail in this video. Number one type of work allowed as worker visa is voluntary work. It can be as many hours as you want. It's definitely unpaid. It's voluntary work because you're not getting paid for it. You're not being judged for it eventually. So the point of this work is basically if you are somebody religious or maybe somebody who wants to do more in community, like organizing something, servicing on a mosque, mandir, temple, gurdwara, etc., then you can do that without any visa implications. It's allowed on your visa. But again, it's unpaid, so you're not getting any money really. Now, second type of work on this visa, which is also called supplementary work. In terms of this category, there are two situations. The first situation is you are doing an overtime with your current employer where you are working from their employer who is sponsored. In the UK, you are working overtime. There's no limit on number of hours. You can do as many hours as you agree with your employer. There is no limit in terms of number of hours you need to work. It's basically overtime is allowed on this visa and your employer can pay you for overtime as well. Second situation under this category is you're allowed to work up to 20 hours max to a different job alongside your primary job. But there are a few conditions you need to be careful of, otherwise it can mess up your future visa application or IELTS application. First condition is you are doing your primary job in the primary working hours. Your new job, your additional supplementary work doesn't interfere with your primary work. Basically, it's something outside your primary working hours as noted in the US. Second condition is your new job or your additional work should be in a profession which is listed in eligible occupation list, which is required for skilled worker visa holders. The point really is the additional work you're planning to do is something that's expected from a skilled worker visa holder and not somebody unskilled. So generally, if you look at the eligible occupation list, you'll find that Uber drivers, maybe delivery drivers, etc., all those jobs are not for you and not allowed to do those supplementary jobs, additional work on your skilled worker visa. You are not allowed that. You can do other jobs like doing another financial role if you're a chartered accountant or something like that, or another skilled worker visa role, but not like delivery driver. That's not something UK hires people from abroad as a skilled worker. Good thing with supplementary work is you don't need another US or even need to notify Home Office. A few more things to watch out before we move on. The third category is basically you make sure that there is no conflicting term in your employment that prohibits you to do another employment with a different employer, maybe competing employers. So your employment contract may actually be prohibiting you from doing another job, so make sure to check that first. And just in terms of additional supplementary work, your new employer will be doing right to work checks, which is based on your visa account. And once you start a supplementary job, make sure to check your HMRC account that your new salary is actually updated there. If it's not updated, make sure to ask your employer, otherwise you may be caught in a tax sort of fraud. So all in all, supplementary work is allowed up to 20 hours a week as long as you are not violating employment conditions and then you are working in a category which is similar to the role UK employers hire somebody from abroad for skilled worker visa role. Third category with respect to earning and additional work on skilled worker visa is yes, you can do more than 20 hours per week on skilled worker visa, but you will be sponsored for two different jobs at the same time in the UK. So what that means in reality is basically you will have two jobs eventually. You will be sponsored by two employers. Your both employers will be licensed sponsor. You will be meeting salary requirements, minimum salary requirements for both jobs separately. This is probably not that common because if you are working a full-time job already and now you want to do another job, that means an additional hours outside your normal working hours. So that means a lot of efforts and of course very few people will be doing that. But just in terms of eligibility, yes, it's allowed, you can do that. Before talking about the visa process, just to highlight, your secondary job cannot be self-employment. Now, in terms of visa process, it's called varying the permission on your skilled worker visa. Basically, what you need to do is get Home Office application to vary your visa. What you need to provide is your new US, you have since US in the letter detailing your name, date of birth, your current US number, your current permission to stay, and then talking about your new US, you will have a new US attached in the application. Basically, all the things you need to provide in the visa. Eventually, you will also be required to pay visa application costs as well as IHS charges as well. They may be refunded to you on your old visa if there's at least 6 months period left. Because IHS refunds are paid in 6 months block time, but there's a possibility you maybe paid something back from your old IHS, but in this visa new very application, you need to provide your visa application. That means you need to pay all the fees, etc., and then do the biometrics either in UK ID app, or maybe you can go for biometrics in physical, and then you wait for decision for 8 weeks. You can afford to apply for priority, that means additional money, and in the end you'll be issued a new visa, new permission to work on 2 jobs at the same time in the UK. That would be literally a revision of the visa, a variation of the visa that you will be doing. So all in all, a great way to earn a lot of money by doing 2 jobs, but it's probably not that common. Number one, due to employment restrictions typically prohibit you from working on a different job of similar category, or maybe you don't want to work really 60, 70, 80 hours a week. But there's a real possibility to earn a lot of money if you're hardworking, you really want to work long hours, and your current employment doesn't prohibit you from working additional, so you can go ahead and do that. Just in terms of eligible occupation list, I'll put the link in the description of the video so you can see what sort of jobs are eligible for skilled worker visa, and then additional work or supplementary work as well. Hopefully this helps. Thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned in the next video.